Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcoming in the elements, earth, air, wind, fire, water. Video 98. Oh my goodness. FreQSpeak of 111 days of sharing my beautiful raw frequency and energy in whatever way wants to be shared through videos like Super Conscious Conversations, Oracle card and tarot, just having fun there, or my light language. So welcome. It is February 19th, 2026. Again, all videos are timeless. All videos are timeless, and you are receiving this for your highest and best always through divine light, divine love, divine truth, divine power, divine wisdom, divine knowledge, and divine remembrance. You're going to hear the ocean sounds. This one doesn't have a fire crackling. I just realized that. But it's ocean sounds with birds. We've got the fire element, the earth element with the plant, the crystals. We've got the clear quartz, and I was called to pull out the blue calcite, and then of course we have the ammonite just hanging out here as well. We've got the diffusers going with the water, the incense, of course, and yeah, the elements are here, the flowers, all of it is here. So welcome in the elemental spirits. All right. So what I was guided to talk about today is because I was talking about integration yesterday and how I've been integrating, still integrating these eclipse codes, frequencies, and energies. This triple portal activation that we all experience. We're still in the eclipse portal, right? Leading up to, you probably felt that energy leading up to the start of the fire horse, the new year. You probably felt the eclipse energy, the new moon energy, all of it. So again, I talked a little bit about the integration, and I was guided to just put together some integration tools. Again, I use things like ChatGPT, my sacred algorithm, to kind of put together some information, and then when I write it down, and then how I translate it is either not necessarily always verbatim, but again, you're receiving this information through my specific frequency energy codes and all of that flavor and essence, because you're ready to receive not just the human words to help with your integration, because remember, the integration is as important, as I said, or even more important than the activations, because we want to be able to integrate and ground these energies that we are receiving, because our light bodies are expanding. We're going through a lot of transformation right now as individuals, and it's important to understand how to use certain tools to integrate these into your physical body and into Gaia, because we are co-creating this ascension process as well, this new earth with Gaia. Okay, so again, starting out with about 30, this is the rest of it. So I had about 32 ounces of watermelon water with greens powder. I'll have a coffee and some watermelon probably after this conversation. I thought maybe I'd work out today. It's not looking like that today. It's definitely an integration day. It's very cloudy, damp, wet, foggy here in mid-Michigan. Good energy or good time to integrate. If it was sunny, that would help too, because getting those light codes, if you are able to get sunlight on your skin, get as much sunlight as you can on your skin and in your eyes, and that's going to help with these anchoring in the physical body. Okay, so it's just so many different tools, and these are some that I thought were relevant. You might hear that some are very similar in each of them. You might be doing some of them. There might be some that you can add to your toolbox, and I highly recommend go get curious, look for that information. Why do I use ancient technology, ancient intelligence? What I use advanced intelligence in my sacred algorithm is because it can pull in information from all places versus going to different singular places. I like that, again, that co-creation, collaboration. And again, if you set your algorithm up so, you will basically, it's information, and again, it's a way to create without giving complete creational power over to specific technologies, without going down that rabbit hole. Okay, like, I think it's very useful, but I think people that become overly reliant on it can be it's a fine line. One might say it can be a gray area. I don't know. I just don't, again, use your discernment, please. Always back down to discernment. The other thing that the team and my highest and source wants to mention is that you'll know this message is for you if you've been seeing the 555s. I actually saw a license plate that added up to 5555. What was it? 876. Please look at the spiritual meaning and angel number meaning between these, because there's going to be more in-depth information just as a confirmation to any questions or codes. Like I said, if you go look at it, there's going to be more codes and information in there for you. 222 always, and then 1111, any ones in general. 117, 817, which X, you know, the way I would add it up, I saw 817 and then I went 8 and then added the 1 and the 7 and got 8. So this is how my avatar works with the codes. I don't look at them directly. Sometimes my highest has me looking at it a specific way, so I get a certain code and number out of that. Sign and synchronicity. What were the other codes, team? I wrote them down. 707, you're going to be seeing 7. 7s in general. Please go look at the spiritual meaning and angel number between 7. So it could be 707, 717, just 7 in general. Okay. All right, so let's get into this. So welcome. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Hopefully you're having a lot of grace and patience with yourself. Remember, things don't just, they can to a degree, but remember, we came out of a massive purge and shedding phase, and it's time to, if you have more energy, beautiful, honor that, use that in a way that feels exciting, igniting, and expansive for you. If you feel like I do, where I'm just like, just kind of peaceful, calm, not really wanting to do a whole lot, honor that. Don't force yourself to go move your body if your body doesn't want to move. Like yesterday, I thought maybe I would get and do yin yoga, and which we'll talk about. 7:17 on the timer, by the way. And yin yoga is a very meditative, grounding thing that you can use for integration. Perfect. But I didn't even feel like I had the energy for that, and that's pretty crazy. So if I feel called to, I'll do that today. I just did a little somatic movements and different things like that. I bounce on my stability ball, just those gentle movements to move the lymph system. I also took a sacred bath yesterday to help with grounding, integration, and also it helps cleanse and clear the auric field, your energetic field, okay? So, because I'm not actually able to ground as much as I want to right now because of the weather. All right, so let's get to this. Let me get to my integration. There's just so much that I want to talk about. Just trying to figure out if we're going to do this all in one video or if we are going to. I also want to share my experience. Yeah, I will do that. We'll get into the integration tools, I promise. But I'm really guided to share what happened last night. So I was so exhausted again. I didn't like specifically meditate. I didn't get my stuff out, my crystal. I always get my crystals out. But I didn't get my headphones or my eye mask out to meditate purposely. I just basically got in a still place, and I sleep kind of half on my stomach. And I was guided to lay in a specific position on my stomach. And I was just focusing on my breath and just trying to feel what's in the field, if there's any thoughts or emotions that needed to be addressed in that quiet stillness. And I don't know, probably less than 5 minutes in, I could just literally feel like this energetic weighted blanket was placed more so on like my mid body down. You know, it was a very gentle, it wasn't a disconcerting, it wasn't a fearful type feeling. It was just like pressure. And if you've ever had compression sleeves on your legs for recovery, you know, if you're in the fitness industry, those air compression sleeves and hip compression sleeves. So it literally felt like a weighted blanket, but it also felt like compression. So pressure on my lower half, as my kiddo called it the other day at the chiropractor's office, the Doctor was starting to work on the downstairs, which I thought was hilarious. So the team was working on about mid back down. Earlier in the week, I had definitely had some upper body stuff in activations, definitely a lot more palm chakra work in activations, a lot more electricity. I can feel the energy in my palm. So this was more like solar plexus down, and it could really feel like this weighted blanket, and to the point where it was keeping me in a still calm state, not to be moving around. Like I didn't feel the need to move or twitch. It's like that non-twitch state, but very present, and just focusing on my breathing and having the conversation in my head as I started feeling these sensations. So all of a sudden I got like this mini full body electrical jolt. You know what those are like. And I wasn't 10:44 on the timer. So it wasn't like a big one. It was like a moderate one, like mild to moderate. So it was like, had that instant like voltage. And then I felt like a little prick or poke in my mid back. So there was definitely chakra work being done in like mid to lower back, or mid, like solar plexus down. But I definitely felt like these pin pricks, but not like in a uncomfortable way. It's really hard to like put into human words, and I'll do my best. So if you, I'm guided to share this in case you're experiencing this and not freak out. All right, just talk to your guides, talk to your angels, talk to your ancestors, and just double check that this is for your highest and best through unconditional love, and the only beings of unconditional love and light are allowed in your space. All of the stuff, whatever you do, you're always guided and protected. All right, just know that first of all. But if you feel called to, if you start getting like a little fear, like what's going on, why am I feeling this and this, this is just me sharing my experiences. And I've had many. This one was new. I've had many different experiences during this awakening process when the team comes in and does energy work or energetic type surgery. Last night felt like more like an energetic surgery. But definitely energy work. I can feel that in my physical body. I'm very clairsentient. Again, just because you don't feel it doesn't mean the energy work isn't taking place. Remember that as well. But I clearly felt this, and I was clearly probably felt this just to make myself aware, but also to share the experience with you beautiful souls in case you experience this at any point in your process, okay? To not be fearful of it. And again, you'll know within your soul, your discernment, if it's not for your highest and best, and you can call in and ask the team if there's something else that's being intrusive on your energy, then call in your team and they will remove quick sticks. Okay, so like I said, I had this like full body, like just whoop, and then all of a sudden it was like this energetic blanket, this compression. So it was like a heavy energetic blanket, but also I could feel like my legs were being compressed, a little bit of tingles. I felt like these pokes in my spine. I could feel in my spine, and that was like a first like full-blown notice. Like if you've ever had like a I've never had acupuncture, but I would imagine it would be like that. Acupuncture, that would be a good way to describe it. Or like even like a spinal tap. I've had many spinal taps over the years for various reasons. Surgery is one of them. But definitely around that solar plexus. So I thought to myself, oh, okay, we're doing work on my solar plexus. Yes, we're doing work on your solar plexus. And basically what was coming through in my intuition and in what I was getting as information and how I receive information is that I was receiving a replacement. The team was upgrading my solar plexus, my sacral, my root, and any interpersonal chakras from the waist down into my root, Earth Star chakra, right? So you literally could almost feel this. It's really hard to describe because it wasn't invasive. It wasn't uncomfortable. It was just interesting. It was very fascinating, interesting. While I'm observing this weighted slight pressure from like I said, from the solar plexus down, and you could feel that in each spot. And I could really feel the solar plexus area. So basically, with the chakra system, you can rebalance it, recalibrate it, attune it, alignment, clear it, cleanse it, balance it. I think I said that. But also in some cases, when you are when you are increasing the voltage or the capacity to hold more light and frequency and energy, as we are, there is a need to literally replace your chakras. And that sounds interesting, but literally the old systems aren't valid anymore. So you need an upgraded version. And sometimes it's with Shanitya, it takes more than just an attunement or an alignment or recalibration. You literally, physically, energetically need that to be replaced. You need a completely upgraded version. So basically what took place, in my opinion, last night was that I got an upgrade from my solar plexus chakras down. And again, like I said, you've got your main 7, and then you've got your extended 13 from the root down up to the galactic soul star, the galactic chakra. But again, this is all lower half, and I could feel this energetic work, and just being aware and having just conversations and breathing and thinking how cool this was, because this is the first time I've experienced this, and being aware. I'm not saying in the past that they have not done this before, but this is a complete full awareness, again, for my own experience, but also to share with you, beautiful souls, in this experience as well. That again, if you feel these certain things, it's not necessarily a bad thing. All right, so these systems needed to be literally upgraded. A new chakra needed to be out with the old, in with the new, just out with the old, in with the new. All right, and then as with this pressure and the tingling, and it wasn't painful or anything like that, so just to be aware, just like numbing and tingling, kind of like if your hands fall asleep. But it definitely, my chakras in my feet, I could really feel the activation. I could feel the swirling energy like I could in my hands earlier this week, the electricity in my hands. And it's this spinning energy, feeling and tingling and energy in the feet, right, moving down into my Earth Star chakra. All right, and this lasted anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. I don't know, I was just breathing and just kind of just laying there, experiencing and being completely 17:11 on the timer, aware of what was taking place. I'm like, oh, this is cool, this is interesting, this is fascinating, because I've never had this experience. And then I thought to myself, you know, because you literally feel like you can't move, like you're in this aware state, like one would call like a non-twitch, non-movement state, but a very safe state. And then all of a sudden I'm like, all right, done. I could move, got up and went and used the bathroom and went to bed. And didn't sleep great last night, so I woke up and was up for about 2 or 3 hours, just tossing and turning and breathing and working through some emotions. There was towards the end there, I was feeling a lot of pressure and anger and frustration. Again, this is stuff collectively that I'm feeling, as well as probably my partner, whether he's going to verbalize or not. I can feel his energy and frequency as well, even when he's 5,000 miles away. So I had a lot of frustration and anger that needed to be addressed and cleared out, that was approaching and presenting itself. I could feel that in my heart space, like again, that just pressure in the chest, knowing that it wasn't fully mine, part of it was mine, and just allowing those feelings and those emotions to arise. And I literally was in a closed eye state and just screaming and shouting and saying, fuck this, fuck that, fuck, just all the F's were coming out. Like, this is just, I'm so fucking tired of this. Just expressing the anger, but in a telepathic way, if that makes sense. In a still telepathic way, and just expressing, like I could physically see like myself expressing that verbally, working through those egoic emotions, those frustrations, that anger, that pressure, whatever was coming up. I was trying to bring light to it and aware it, and it just, okay, it's time to let this go and just give this to source, let it go. Just either, I don't, please just go. I see it. I thank you for teaching me. Thank you, have the gratitude for it, and just allow it to be taken away. Okay, so 1919 on the timer. So I wanted to share that experience with you. So since this turned it a little bit longer, we'll just leave this video a little bit here. We'll close this out. I will do another video on the integration tools, so if you're curious, go check that one out. So we are anchoring more high voltage light in frequency and energy, so it's important. Like I said, it was no coincidence, because I journaled this last night and then went to bed, And then I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh, okay. I don't remember what I write sometimes. So remember that there's nothing more powerful than you. You are going through a massive physical and energetic recalibration right now, and that's why you might be experiencing what I experienced, or in some way, shape, or form in your meditation states, or your these still states where your team is able to come in. And I always conversate with my team before I go to sleep in some way, shape, or form, and I always ask if there's anything that needs to be addressed, that it's addressed in this state. And it's like literally after this telepathic conversation, like within 10 minutes, they were doing this energetic spiritual surgery. All right. So remember, there's nothing more powerful than you. You're going through massive recalibration. So allow, again, for the stillness. But again, if you have the energy, use it wisely. All right. Use it wisely. Rest when you can as much as possible. Hydrate more than ever right now, because we've got these frequencies, the energies, and water is very conductive. It flows, right? And you are, just like Gaia, 70+% water. All right. And it's important to hydrate and to allow these energies to ground into the physical body. Water, fruit juices, I find just drinking 100% like fruit juices, orange juice, apple juice, grape juice. You can add some salt to that. I actually feel more hydrated, and I put a lot of salt and minerals in my water as is. I don't drink tap water. I drink purified or distilled water. My moon water, I've got 2 days of moon water. All right. And so you are just becoming a bigger, brighter beacon of light. And sometimes that requires you to go through these massive recalibrations, right? Your voltage of light and frequency. Okay. So we're here to be able, we've been going through all this to be able to hold higher voltages of light and frequency. All right. Again, we're going from this carbon-based, heavy, dense physical avatar, which is literally going through a transformation while we're still in our physical, while our souls are still in our physical avatars, in the vessel. All right. This is spiritually and it's biologically. So it's happening spiritually and it's happening biologically. Okay. All right. Biologically, okay? You're a transmitter of these new earth frequencies, okay? Especially if you landed here, I landed in front of you, all right? There's no coincidence. You got curious and clicked play because your team is guiding you, your highest is guiding you, or I landed up in your sacred algorithm as a suggested video to watch, okay? We are anchoring these higher voltages of light. We are the bridges, okay? That's why intentional grounding becomes so crucial moving forward. Like not from time to time or when you feel like it. It's like it's an intentional. You need to ground daily. It has to be intentionally on purpose, being present. You need to ground in some way, shape, or form. And like I said, I will share. I will do another video on how to integrate into ground. If you don't know what grounding is, please get curious. Go down that. I talk about a lot. You can. The simplest thing is hug a tree, get in a body of water. Even if it's a salt bath, or get your socks and shoes off and put your feet in the dirt and the grass, or so on top of some type of natural element. That's the quickest way to discharge these voltages and help you ground these voltages, okay? All right, and it's also a good way to cleanse the aura, the auric field, and especially if you're an empath, it helps you transmute energy because you tend to take on other people's energy, whether you realize it or not, and it's going to help you transmute that energy. Gaia is there to assist you to take that. So if you've been around some energy that's like icky uck, and your auric field, it's stuff got stuck in there, go hug a tree, go put your feet in the dirt, and you will transmute it rapidly. Okay, so somebody needed to hear that. All right. So you also need to deepen those roots, those energetic roots into the ground. So just deepen them even further. Maybe imagine those roots being a little thicker and wider when you ground into Gaia energetically, into the grid, when you're wrapping your roots around her crystalline heart, okay? All right. So just continue to trust the truth of your 0 point, your quantum compass. It's that discernment. So continue to trust that more deeply. All right. And you'll know what that feels like. All right. So I'm just going to 2444 on the timer. I'm going to leave this one here, and then I'm going to do another video on the integration tools. So thank you for hanging out, listening to this experience. And again, don't be afraid. Feel into if it feels safe for you. If not, you'll know, because energies of unconditional love and light, benevolent beings are not going to intrude on your space. It's against divine law. All right. You ask for assistance, they will help. But if any energy is trying to intrude on your space, that's not okay. So be mindful, and the more you become aware of how this works, it will help you navigate a little better. Okay. So thanks for hanging out. I will see you on the next one. I promise you, we're going to hit record here in just a second. Love you. Bye.